we go from Seattle. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
22-yard line.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. 50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. Here we go, D.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Breeze on the bootleg. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Here we go, here we go.
On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Marshawn Lynch, an 80-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
0-2.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, yo. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you. Hey, dude. Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. 13. It's just me and you.
Now Breeze on third down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, it's third down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Check 20. Slam.
Here's Wilson. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now it's Wilson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, this from 46. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
50, check my 50. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Breeze eluding the pressure right. And this is Cook with a grab. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter if they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And some room to work. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. It's caught, Lockett. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play-action pass, you see the end result, usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. Let me finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Ready. 95-56, 95-56. Single slot, single tonight.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Looking long for time. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's A.J. Klein, the linebacker. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well, and he would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being first-team running back as well as first-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way, 5 players named to the All-Pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so, and I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
54 Mike. It's been a long day for you.
Going on the ground with Homer. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on second and 13.
Watch the screen. Shift. Alert.
This is Homer. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he is going to lose yardage here. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Call it a pickup of 7, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. This one into the hands of Metcalf. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
What's the ball? Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Easy, opposite. Mike 50. Hey, Delta. QB drop.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Breeze. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas. 42 yards. And the Saints get a bit closer. Lutt's good on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, 0.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
Touch 50. Got it. Check.
Here we go on 4th with Wilson. Steps away. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And they'll give to Lynch out of the gun. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. That's complete. He's got Lynch out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. They'll get nothing out of the completion there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling could lead to no yards gained.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here we go, G.
1st down, the run with Lynch. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Past the 20. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Marshawn Lynch, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
Good, 4 down. Gun. Mike's by 4. Let's go.
Now a toss coming right side. Lynch. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for 2 fails. Ooh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And this one travels out of bounds. So unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Let's go.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 52 yards. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation.
He's got a man, complete. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. They run again on first down, Lynch. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 9, Breeze. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Brad McDougald. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
He's going to let it go again. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, alert. Right there. 54. 54 Mike.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Harris to return. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now in this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Breeze. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Trey Flowers picks it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, his 2nd sack of the night.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Come on, set. You put the flag. Mark 54. Watch the run. Watch the run.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now, it's about taking the ball away.